Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I'm going to show you several things. I'm going to touch on the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds a little bit more. I'm also going to show you how, like we've talked about on this channel, I'm going to show you how Stellar is in the game. I believe, you're not, even Brad Garlinghouse has said it from day one, you're not going to have only one winner. Now, is Ripple going to be the big winner? Yes, but Stellar is going to be in the game, and I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to show you something very interesting from Uphold that I just was sent by Mr. B. Give him a follow if you don't already, at XRP Mr. And he sent me this. This is unbelievable, folks. The world is about to change. This is from Uphold. I want you to watch this video. They say sending money to friends around the globe should be fast, easy, and free. Send any currency to an email address with just a few taps. Watch.
Here's a very cool feature of Uphold. You can send money to your friends and family all over the world instantly. You send the currency you hold, your loved ones get the currency they need. This is how it works. Let's say you're an American holding Bitcoin and want to send euros to your sister in Italy. Start on the portfolio screen, which shows your holdings. Tap Transact to bring up the From and To screen for moving money. Tap From, and select Bitcoin in My Accounts. Tap To, and scroll along the top menu, and pick Contacts. All you need is your sister's email address. So tap Send to an email, or choose a name and contact. Let's assume your sister is not in your contacts list. Just enter her email address. Choose euros, which is the currency you want her to get. Tap Expand in the equivalent field to specify in dollars the euro amount you want to send. Tap Preview Send to see your rate and check the details. If you're happy, tap Confirm and you're done. Remember, you can send any currency or precious metal supported by Uphold. You can even send physical gold.
You can send physical gold. I've used the example many times on this channel of being in a grocery store and being able to, let's say, and all of your assets basically being in a mobile device. In this case, Uphold. They're showing you how this is going to work even with gold. So you can have liquid assets that are in gold or anything else to buy some bananas. That's where this is all going, folks. Now look at what the Uphold CEO, this guy said, is this only inside Uphold? The user I send to must have an Uphold account too. And then this is the CEO of Uphold, JP Tirat, I think is how you say his last name. You can send to email address of anyone not an OFAC country, North Korea, etc. Instant and free. Receiver then needs to open an account to claim money, which is less than 5 minutes. New features not requiring this coming soon. Sending to crypto address doesn't require anyone to open an account. Now, folks, Mr. B, when he sent this to me, he said, does this mean that there's no need for payment companies? And it reminded me of something. I've shown you a lot of times on this channel, I go back and I show you some of these people who have disappeared from Twitter that seem to know something, or people that have disappeared from different places online that would talk about XRP and talk about Ripple as if they were in the know. Well, remember one of them named Kendra Hill? I'm about to show, before I show you Kendra Hill and what she said, and remember, Mr. B said, why do we need payment companies? That's what he's basically saying, and he's right. Why do we need the middlemen? Okay? Now, this, just so you know, this is Uphold's website. Uphold integrated interledger protocol so we can process payments across different payment networks. This allows us to connect ledgers from two different banks, thereby removing intermediaries and central authorities from the system. Do you see where this is going, folks? Remember, we've been showing you this over and over and over. This by 2020, the ILP becomes the standard protocol for connecting banks' cash ledgers as a part of Ripple's software. And then we showed you this, the last slide, which is our favorite on this channel. ILP, all the money, XRP ledger, ILP. Do you see where this is all going? Now, back to Kendra Hill. Now, let me give the caveat here. I am not saying that Ripple's been lying to anybody. I'm just reading you something interesting that was put out on the internet back in, I think, 2018. She says, assuming it's a she, if you were to do research on Ripple, the company, an XRP blockchain token, you would come to the conclusion that the goal is to replace SWIFT as the world's leading cross-border payment provider. What if I was to say that Ripple does not care about cross-border payments and that replacing SWIFT is only a short-term plan? In the digital age, you are able to connect with anyone around the world in seconds. For this reason, using one digital currency would be ideal. Not only is one currency all that is needed, it would be more efficient if we were to all use one single currency or the interledger protocol. So what would happen to a cross-border payment provider, a payment company, when the world is using a digital currency that can be sent from wallet to wallet, like what Uphold just described? The cross-border payment provider is no longer needed. I assume this is all very simple to understand. Yes, the purpose of this blog post is to help you understand. If Ripple was only focused on cross-border let me zoom in. If Ripple's only focused on cross-border payments and then nothing else, their success would be short-lived. They knew this before XRP ever existed. Think of cross-border payments as a nice testing ground to prepare Ripple for the use case they have been focused on since the very beginning. The true intentions of Ripple are to handle 100% of the transactions which take place in the derivatives market. So why do they not make this public knowledge? For multiple reasons, the most important one being they are not ready. They are missing a piece of the puzzle, and that piece is called Codius. I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of, folks. Okay, I showed you this article in the video this morning. Rockefellers join Rothschilds and Soros in cryptocurrency investing. All right, I wanted to focus in on this. I didn't cover this part this morning. The Rothschilds, also known for their close ties to banks and other financial institutions, have stepped towards cryptocurrency trading as well. In December, the family reportedly purchased Bitcoin exposure via the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust for the first time. Well, I went and checked on this to make sure it was the case. Top 10 owners of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Rothschild Investment Corporation, right there, folks. So Rothschilds, now for those of you that don't know, if you have an IRA with something like a Charles Schwab or an E-Trade or probably many others, you can get this. The symbol's the GBTC, and you can buy, it's a Bitcoin investment trust where you're buying, it tracks Bitcoin more or less. And so that's what they bought into, but you know that's not all they bought into. I couldn't find, they also have an XRP trust, but I think the information's private as of right now. We'll find out later. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you. Rockefellers go long. This is from April 2018. They go long cryptocurrencies to invest in blockchain startups. Let's go down. I wanted to show this. Venrock, we talked about this morning. And then as we go down, it says, you know, Coin Fund is the company that Venrock, which is the Rockefellers venture capital firm, is working with. Okay. Then it says here, it says another Coin Fund client is CoinList, a technology platform that helps companies launch regulation compliant ICOs. I went and looked at this company, and you'll never guess who the investors are in CoinList. Investors in the round include these, two of which are Ripple investors. Blockchain Capital and Digital Currency Group are investors in this CoinList. It's a small world, isn't it? All right, let's go down to the end of this. I wanted to show you one other thing. Marriage of old money and new tech. The entry of the financial old guard like the Rockefellers is another signal that cryptocurrencies and blockchain, the technology that undergirds Bitcoin, have gotten too hyped to ignore and too big to miss. So these guys got in the game. I think they were in it as early as 2015. They would probably have you believe it was 2000, 18. But anyway, all right. Now, there's one part of all of this whole blockchain industry or any financial industry that people forget about sometimes. And that is I keep talking about all these media outlets. If you think, and I've told you this before, if you think that all these traditional financial media outlets are not controlled by people that have monetary incentives involved, you are kidding yourselves. So it's important who owns what, all right? I decided to look at one of them that I have found to be very friendly to Ripple. Now, I want to tell you before I go into this, I've always kind of felt like Ripple and Stellar are not one, but they're not enemies like is portrayed in the media. That's how I've always felt, okay? I still feel that way. I think that both Ripple and Stellar, the technologies are very, very similar, and I believe that they are both in this game. Now, I think Ripple is going to be the big winner, but I think they're both going to be winners in this game, and I own both of them. I own a lot more XRP than I do XLM, but I just wanted you to know that I think that. So I decided one media outlet that I have seen to be very friendly to Ripple over the years is Fortune magazine, and they also have a video. I just pulled a couple of articles just so you could see this. These are some, favorable Ripple articles I've seen them write. Ripple raises $200 million as a part of a bid for XRP adoption. They also, Fortune also has this channel, Fortune Magazine on YouTube, where they do this Balancing the Ledger show. You've seen many people that would be considered them being friendly to Ripple. I showed you earlier today, Brad Garlinghouse was on it. Here's Catherine Coley, who's at Binance.us, but was at Ripple, okay? And then here is Barry Silbert, who runs the digital currency group, who's also an investor in Ripple, a major investor. Then here's another one, the guy that runs TransferWise, who is a Ripple partner. He's also on Balancing the Ledger, okay? So who owns Fortune? Fortune is an American multinational business magazine headquartered in New York City. It is published by Fortune Media Group Holdings, owned by Thai businessman, and I'm not going to try to say his name, but maybe the first name, Chachavel, owned by this guy, okay? Following me? All right, so I decided to head down this direction. Fortune magazine sold to Thai businessman for $150 million, and it's this guy, that name right there, okay? That guy, when you type him in, this comes up as the this Charan Pokpan Group out of Thailand, and this is their company. It's some huge conglomerate, all right? These are like I think the wealthiest people in Thailand, all right? And then I remembered this from Ripple. Azimo and SCB runs on Ripple for instant payments into Thailand. And so, we've talked about this before, and about how this is one of their corridors and da-da-da-da-da. Well, let's keep going. So we know Ripple's in the game in Thailand. SCB runs on Ripple. And then this is that tycoon that owns Fortune magazine. Now he plans fintech acquisitions. All right. So a financial technology startup co-founded by the owner of Fortune magazine plans to widen reach of its Southeast Asian remittance platform through acquisitions. LightNet, which describes its blockchain-based service quicker and cheaper, da-da-da-da-da. LightNet is the name of their thing. Well, LightNet, Stellar Lumens-based startup wants to replace Swift and Ripple. The Thai-based startup LightNet has raised $31.2 million in a first financing round. The technology based on Stellar Lumens blockchain is designed to replace existing systems like Swift and Ripple. Now, I'm not going to get into this, but one of the people from these people that own Fortune magazine actually made a comment in one of these articles and said, no, we're not trying to compete with Ripple. We're actually doing something different, which my understanding is more of like individuals to individuals, whereas Ripple runs in the background of some of these financial institutions. But that's the way I understand it. So this LiteNet is in Thailand as well. So I was looking at this and I was just looking around. I just wanted to show you that you'll see that Jed McCaleb is one of the advisors to LiteNet. And then you go and you look, and I found this: 13 banks backed by Ripple-powered mobile payments app include Japanese largest ATM provider. And I wanted to point out that this MoneyTap, which is a RippleNet uses X Current, is partnered with, let me go back to here. Let's see. I wanted to show you a part. Ooh, I think I may have gotten rid of it. But one of the investors in LiteNet is this 7 bank right here. And if I really went and looked, I would probably find many more connections. But the 7 bank invests in LiteNet as well. And then I wanted to show you this: Mike Kennedy, who, remember, Mike Kennedy, look on the app on your phone. If you're in your bank, there's a company called Zelle that is used for the transfer of money from one bank account to another on a lot of from a lot of banks in the United States. This guy, Mike Kennedy, was the founder of Zelle, and then left, and he went to become the CEO of Interstellar, where Jed McCaleb is the CTO. So he tweeted this out: excited to have LiteNet and its impressive partners across Asia on the Stellar network. And then finally, here is a Forbes article: LiteNet targets. LiteNet targets moving 50 billion of international payments annually on the Stellar blockchain network by 2022. Let me see what Ripple said the figures were. This was, according to World Bank, Thailand is one of the top remittance destinations globally, with 6.7 billion received abroad each year. Okay, so they're using a figure of, and then this is 50 billion internationally. I'm not sure what the difference is in the two figures. But I just thought that all of that was interesting. Everything is connected. Stellar, I'm telling you, I never have believed this. You got Stellar over here and Ripple over here. I've always believed that somehow, some way, they're actually connected. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that Stellar is in the game too. Thank you for listening.